Our esteemed colleague, Jason Wilde, even asked Matt LaFleur point blank, what do you do when everyone, including the other team, knows that you would prefer to run the ball? Did the Colts just not get the memo? Did the Colts just forget?
That's why I'd love to see his defensive game plan. Like, I don't get. You bring a guy up in the box that doesn't work. When you have Malik Willis, you bring up another guy in the box to stop him. You go into this and say, all right, what was his number? 2?
Yeah.
22? 2?
Yeah, he's number 2.
2's got to beat you.
I mean,
I was
Doug
on a
Flutie
plane. I had to listen to it on the.
In fairness, he went to Boston College. Doug Flutie wore 22 at quarterback at Boston College.
No, it's fine. He explained he was listening to it on the stream.
But he did everything asked of him, and he did it perfectly, which isn't much. 5-yard checkdowns, little sticks, take care of the ball. LaFleur did a great job not being baited into these 4th and 2s and maybe I should. No, punt the ball, right?
Yeah, it was a very conservative game plan.
Great.
It's what they exactly need to do. And to Malik Willis's credit, he executed it perfectly.
Okay, well, Matt LaFleur has a comment for your conservative game plan. Let's hear from Matt LaFleur, number 4 on the show sheet, Max, who says it's not conservative. It's actually this.
Computer's buffering.
Hi. Some might call that conservative. I call that being smart. The guy had we had 3 timeouts, or they had 3 timeouts. I mean, like I said, Malik has been here for 3 weeks. To put him in a 2-minute situation at the end of the half when you're up 10-0, I would call that reckless.
I would agree. He was smart. He coached it perfectly. I still don't think he thought they were rushing for 261.
Sure, but he was thrilled that they did.
Yeah,
sure.
Merry Christmas. You want to give us a Christmas in September present? I'm happy to take that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Look, we were talking about this earlier. I don't know what this NFL is about. I have no idea. Do you believe in New Orleans? Do you
put up a lot of points yesterday, didn't
Minnesota?
they? Back-to-back weeks, they put up a lot of points.
Minnesota?
Justin Jefferson's pretty good.
Tampa Bay?
These are all teams that got victories yesterday.
Those are all teams that are 2-0.
But I think there's a lot of parity in the league this year. You just don't know. I mean, you said it. What do you know, Gabe?
I know 2 things. The Chiefs are good. The Panthers suck. That's it. That's the
everything
list.
else is in the middle.
Everything else is on the table. I think especially with no preseason, it used to be a game or 2. Now it might be an entire month. Like this entire month of September, it matters because it matters in the standings, and there's only 17 games. But in terms of trying to determine who's actually going to be good at the end of the year, I don't know if you can take much from any of these games. Honestly, it's just, hey, find a way to win so you can tally one in the win column.
Exactly.
We'll continue to work on everything
Which is
going forward.
good.
We'll just continue to win ugly if we have to win ugly. And offenses across the league are ugly.
And that's because there's no preseason.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Al Davis win. This is the Al Davis month. This is the just win, baby. Figure out a way. There are a lot of people weighing in. 800-990-3776 on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. And many of them want to hear the Chewy was right drop. If for no other reason than because Chewy said that they could win ugly and the rest of us gave them no shot of winning. So, Max, let's just do it. Let's get it out of the way. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Chewy was right? Holy Chewy was right.
And Chewy, the reason that you thought that they could win was because of Matt LaFleur. You thought that he could dial up a game plan that would limit Malik Willis from losing the game for them.
Yeah, well, playing at home is very comfortable after having to go to South America. I think LaFleur's a really good coach, a really good game planner. Now, there's things he does that I don't agree with or I don't like, but I think when it comes to putting a game plan together, he's pretty damn good. I mean, he's not Andy Reid, but he's that next tier.
I mean, Andy Reid's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah. But LaFleur is off to a hell of a start. He's just got to win a few more big games when they matter, you know. But I have all the confidence in the world. Now, you have gut feelings as players, you know, with games like this early in the season, and I'm not going to feel great about Sunday's game. Just not. I don't feel just in the pit.
You're talking about this upcoming
this
Sunday
Against
upcoming
Tennessee.
Sunday's game. Do not feel good about it at all.
And is that because you feel like Tennessee, of all the teams, knows
I can
Malik
tell you
Willis
this: they're
the
not
best?
rushing for 261.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not rushing for 261, and this team knows
Willis.
Willis, and they've lost 2 close games. You know, Will Levis stinks. Well, he does, doesn't he?
He had another really dumbass play
Yeah.
yesterday.
It's almost like, all right, I'll probably take Willis a little bit over Malik. But, you know.
Will Levis
Over Malik Willis.
Yes.
That's totally understandable how you tongue-tied that one, honestly. Like, we're going to give you that one.
Yeah, I do not feel great about this upcoming game. Just from a player standpoint. I don't know why, but.
Let me ask you this. Who did you learn the most about in yesterday's game? Could be anybody. Could be Josh Jacobs. Oh, he can really be the guy. He could tote the rock. You know, if we have somebody who we don't believe in necessarily at quarterback, Josh Jacobs can carry the offense. Was it Matt LaFleur? Whoa, we knew he was a good coach when he had Aaron Rodgers under center. We were seeing signs of it with Jordan Love last year, but this was really his, what do they call it? Opus? Is that what it is? Mr. Holland's opus type of thing?
Yeah.
It was a great game plan.
Who did you learn the most about after yesterday's game?
It's probably Josh Jacobs. It's good to know that he can still have a game like that, where you can turn around and hand it off to him 32 times. And to that, does Goody deserve a little credit? I'm not saying for the Malik Willis thing, for replacing, because if Aaron Jones is still the Packers running back instead of Josh Jacobs, can Aaron Jones carry the ball 32 times in a game?
Let me ask you this, though. Who's the backup? The other backup?
Well,
Clifford? Clifford?
Oh, I thought we were talking running back. Sorry, my bad.
Do you think he could have done the exact same thing? Yeah.
I mean, probably. Do I think if Clifford plays in the game, he goes 12 of 14? Who knows?
He could.
He could.
Right.
I mean, could he have executed that game plan? He could have executed that game plan.
I mean, there was really one throw that was really nice, right? The long one down the sideline into the game. That's it.
And Dobbs really went up and made a play there, too.
Everything was a check down, everything, which is this is what he needed to do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. Are you going to tell me Dallas sucks now?
I have no idea. No idea. That's what I said. I know 2 things, Chewy. I know
I'm
2
with you.
things. I know who's number 1 in the power rankings. I know who's number 32 in the power rankings. The rest is, maybe.
Which I kind of like.
You could talk me into just about anything.
I kind of like. You know? Parity's
just
good.
chaos.
Parity's good.
Chaos.
I
across
don't
the
like
league.
that Minnesota looks as good as they do.
I don't like that either.
I don't know if I buy it. The Bears are kind of what I thought they were.
Palermo's, and they've got your game day covered. I had one yesterday during the game. Palermo's, find them in your local grocer's freezer.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
We do have some backups on westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down from about 84th Street all the way to about 35th. You want to try and avoid the intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. A serious accident happened through there, and all the lanes around those areas are going to be all closed up. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and warm, high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. Full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Luther Gray is Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales at the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Luther, tell us about the orchestra's mission.
We provide over 135 shows a year, classical concerts, pop concerts, family and educational concerts, and also we do many performances throughout the state as well.
And James Imaging Systems provides their expertise to support the symphony.
Yes, James Imaging is there. It makes it so much easier for us, and they help keep us on schedule.
Luther, it seems that with captivating audiences with acclaimed musical performances, many would like an opportunity to get involved.
That is correct. Attending the concerts is great, giving is great, but the volunteerism is wonderful as well. We need all of that to be a successful, thriving orchestra.
What's the first step people can take to ensure that long-term success?
They can go to our website at mso.org, O-R-G.
That's mso.org. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies, right?
Heebie-jeebie.
You take your fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh and you go heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Party run for 135 yards. Put it in the air this time. It is through there to Willis and a touchdown. Willis threads it through for his first NFL strike and a touchdown.
Talking about the 16-10 Packers victory, Packers improved to 1-1, and as the guys have mentioned, you got some wonkiness happening around the league. You got some craziness. We don't really know what teams are, who they are, what their identity is going to be, but we do know that the Packers can win without Jordan Love. And look, we still don't know when Jordan Love could be back. I don't think anybody was buying the old, he could be back this week. No. I think everybody's pretty understood that was just strategery and gamesmanship. But he could be back next week. He could be back the following week. If he's not back against the Titans, he could be back against the Vikings. Gabe, would you feel more confident with Jordan Love going against the Vikings than the third sighting of Malik Willis?
Yes.
Whereas we know then more tape on him, teams sort of figure out better how to defend against what he can do.
Well, not even just more tape on him, more tape on what the Packers are doing in terms of their offensive line, trying to get everything going with the run game. That has been the hope. And it was a week ago when our guy Adam Schefter went on the Pat McAfee show and pointed to that Vikings game as a possibility. I know your friend Diana Rossini over at The Athletic had her report over the weekend saying certainly the Vikings game is a possibility, but it seems like internally the goal would be the Rams game, and if he can come back before then, great.
I still don't think they're going to be in the top 10 power rankings tomorrow. I really don't, because you have to put Minnesota in there, right? And they haven't been in with a big win yesterday against San Fran. You have to put Tampa Bay, who's 2-0, who beat Detroit. And then do you put Seattle in there? Seattle's 2-0.
Yeah, but
it's Patriots, but who they beat the first game? I know that was at home, but
I believe they've beaten the Patriots and the Broncos.
Yeah, they might not get in, but I don't know. Are there? I'm with you, Gabe. I have no idea, because to me, there's a lot of good teams in the NFC after 2 weeks of football.
Got to be honest, I really don't care if they're in the top 10 tomorrow.
Yeah,
right. Because we're playing the long game here, right? Like, talk to me in 8 weeks. Then, hopefully they are continuing to surge. I do want to also focus on the defense, though, guys, because it was not just the offense who was making hay against the Indianapolis Colts. The defense, again, with the takeaways, generated 3 takeaways for the second straight week. Xavier McKinney had a first quarter interception. Evan Williams capped the game off with a pick on Richardson's final Hail Mary. Are you starting to believe in Jeff Hafley's defense now, Chew, 2 weeks in a row?
Richardson's terrible. He's not very good. He's okay. He's not anything special. The 140 rush, that's a little concerning, but Jonathan Taylor
he
is
had
a
up
really
over
good back.
The 140 rush is concerning because it was on 18 carries.
Yeah.
7.8
there
yards
were
a carry.
little gashy there.
Like that's concerning. That's a little going.
Yeah.
And that's 2 weeks in a row where the rush defense hasn't looked good.
That's fine. Right now we're drafting off of a semi right now, right? The fuel lights on. We're like, all right, we're just drafting. Let's just win these games, win them ugly until our guy gets back. Yes,
running out of gas.
Yes.
Well, we're not out of gas yet.
No, put the lights on.
But it is imminent. You're hoping you can find a gas station that has a downward slope.
Yeah, you're not getting off the highway going up the ramp. You're hoping it's a down ramp.
I mean, I just hear so much about Love. I hear 5 weeks. I hear, hey, he might play this week.
I guess I would still be surprised if he played this week against the Titans.
I wouldn't play him.
I would be. What if the doctor says, yeah, he's good as he's going to be?
I don't think he'd be 100%.
Well,
no, I wouldn't.
So hold on. Based on what you saw yesterday, right? Like you went into it not really sure. Like, oh my gosh, we need to rush him back. You said you don't rush back a guy, $55 million, et cetera.
Correct.
But when you saw what they could do yesterday, doesn't that give you more confidence that you can wait it out?
Yeah. Even if they lose the game, it's like, all right, 1-2, we're fine. We're fine. And then bring them back. Is next week Minnesota, the week after that?
Correct.
And then bring them back for that.
Yeah, so at Tennessee, home against Minnesota are the next
Yesterday
2 games.
was a huge win. Now, if they lost yesterday, 0-2, then you might think, maybe
0-3
we got 0-3, yeah.
Well,
even though that's not insurmountable.
0-3?
It's not great.
0-2 is, the numbers on 0-2. We read them off last week.
Look, this
11.5%.
All this is getting into the dance. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's football today. Just get in. Just get in and we're fine.
with preferably a home game.
Remember, he'll probably be wearing a brace when he comes back just to protect that knee, but regardless, just as the weeks go on. Are you starting to believe in Jeff Hafley's defense based on what you saw on Sunday against the Colts? The 3 takeaways, I think, is probably the thing you look at the most. Did the Colts look bad, Gabe, in the week before the Packers?
I don't know if they looked bad. They didn't look great, again, because Anthony Richardson had over 200 yards passing on 9 completions. So he hit a lot of big ball. He hit a lot of big shots, did have a turnover.
So that's what I want to point at. He had a lot of big shots in that game. You don't think he came into Lambeau Field thinking that they could do the same thing? There's got to be a part of you that thinks that Jeff Hafley's defense took that part of the game away from them.
Sure, and then Shane Steichen should have run the football, and he got impatient and didn't. And when you find an offensive coordinator that will be patient, Kyle Shanahan, and can run 18 times for 140 yards.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, Xavier McKinney was great. And we can have the debate who was the better free agent acquisition right now, McKinney or Jacobs. They've both been fantastic through 2 weeks. The run game needs to get shored up. This run defense is the same run defense we've seen from the Green Bay Packers for a decade.
Yeah.
They need to shore that up because not every week are you going to play a quarterback like Anthony Richardson, McKinney was a good play. The last interception was whatever. I mean, he gifted one to Eric Wilson, just never saw him. Just threw it right to him. And to Wilson's credit, he caught the ball as a linebacker, but you're not going to play a quarterback who's going to gift you a couple of turnovers like that.
Quay's been disappointing. I think this week there were a few dude, all right, you're fast, but you have to tackle. It's like catching the ball. Wow, you run by everyone, but you can't catch the ball. There were a few where he was right there in the hole and he just didn't make the tackle. Maybe he is just a little more than a guy, right?
Which Gabe would say would be disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I thought he would be special. He seems to have all the tools, but I don't know if his...
Gabe, do you think they're just playing the odds? When you talk about defenses, you talk about what they want to focus on. We said 3 takeaways, big deal, right? You win the turnover battle in this game, that's always a good thing. But are they playing the odds that not a lot of teams out there want to run the ball? You pay all of this money to your quarterback. You want to see him air it out, and therefore maybe we don't need to stop the run because most teams aren't running the ball the way the Packers did on Sunday.
Yeah, and most teams are going to run the football. They want to throw the ball. I mean, every coach out there, we dealt with Mike McCarthy for years, right? Every offseason, it seemed like we got to rededicate to the football. We got to run the football. We got to do this. And he had Aaron Rodgers, so ultimately he wanted to throw the football. I think ultimately everybody in the league wants to throw the football. However, the problem is when you run into great teams, because we're not talking about regular season for the Packers, right? There are bigger goals for this team. And when you run into those teams in the postseason, the Eagles, as we saw last week, the San Francisco 49ers, not as much the Dallas Cowboys because McCarthy's their coach. They're going to want to throw it. But some of the elite teams, I bet you Detroit would be patient and run the football if they had 18 carries for 140 yards. The really good teams in the league will not give up on the run.
Alan weighing in saying, defense surprised me the most because they held an NFL team to 10 points. There's something to be said for that. In this era of, as you just mentioned, air it out. Holding a team to 10 points does feel like a win. And as we said in the first segment of the show, this is the game that Matt LaFleur should hang his hat on. You've seen a lot from Matt LaFleur, but it has always been questioned by, well, he's got a Hall of Fame quarterback under center. Well, this, well, that. Last year, we thought that Matt LaFleur should have won Coach of the Year based on taking a team with Jordan Love, first-time starter, and the progress that they made over the course of those 17 games. Didn't happen. Could it happen now this season if he has Malik Willis under center for 3 games, 2 games, whatever it ends up being, and he manipulates his offense, he changes the game plan in order to get victories with him under center? Maybe. Feels like because it happens at the beginning of the year as opposed to later in the year, it won't have any effect on it.
But this part of the narrative is going to be long gone.
Long gone. People will have long forgotten about it. But the point is, it is a indicator to people that maybe he is better than people have given him credit for.
I don't give a rip if he ever wins a Coach of the Year. We know how good he is.
Yeah.
We know how good he is. And that's the only thing that matters, as long as he continues to coach like he did yesterday. Yesterday was a great offensive game plan that they executed to a T. And that win, to me, if we're giving out credit, 90% of it goes to Matt LaFleur.
Does he have to follow it up, though, Chew? Because your point is The Titans are going to know Malik Willis better than anybody. The Titans are not going to allow you to run the ball 50-plus times. The Titans will come in with a better game plan. Do they need to follow up this win with a win this week in order for you to really give him the credit?
Yeah, because he's going to have to throw the ball down the field. He didn't have to throw the ball down the field this last game. Not when you rush for 261. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot different. The Titans are going to go in and say, hey, Josh Jacobs, you're not beating us. I don't care if I have to put 10 guys in the box. You're not beating us.
What are they bringing a corner over, just leaving somebody wide open to the left?
They'll play cover 0. Just load the box and say, all right, we're man-to-man on these receivers. Keep them in the pocket. We're going to see what he can do. And then if he beats us, then he beats us. But 261 is not going to happen unless the coordinator is a complete moron, you know. That's why I'd love to see Gus Bradley, who's thought to be known as a pretty good D coordinator.
Yeah.
This is probably fireable. It'd be hard not to fire him. I can tell you this, he'd be leaving my office with a little hanging behind him. Like, what are you doing? You know? So. Right?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You were cooking. I'm
not making a prediction for this, but do I believe that Malik Willis can go 21 of 31 for 270 and 2 touchdowns? That's what he's going to have to do.
Eventually, he would have to do that, depending upon how long he plays to win a game. I don't know if he'll have to do that against Tennessee. He might have to do that against Minnesota. But yeah, eventually there is going to be a team that is going to dare them.
I mean, did you watch the Jets game yesterday? Rodgers didn't look great. I mean, Tennessee's defense isn't world beaters, but they can play football. We knew that the Colts were horrible against the run. We didn't think they were 261 horrible.
Yeah, because Joe Mixon had a really good game the week before.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it'd be 150. So.
They can play football is an endorsement. Because last week we talked about somebody who couldn't play football.
I think he can kind of play
struggled
with football.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think that all of that criticism, all of those comments were wrong?
No, I don't think they're wrong. I mean, he yesterday he was driving in a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and he was going 28. So that's good. That's good. But this week, it might be a 45, it might be a 55, you know? What's wrong with that analogy?
The driving metaphors this morning are fantastic. It's amazing. You're 2 for 2 on driving metaphors
See, Jen,
this morning.
you can't drive 25. It is physically impossible for you. Your idle is faster than 25 in your Jeep.
It's true. I get to a school zone and I really panic too. I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? Brake? I have to brake?
I just...
Yeah.
We
know he can go 25.
Well,
we know that.
I've known you for a decade.
Yes.
I've never once heard you go, oh, this offense is 25 miles an hour. He's going 28. I've never heard you use that metaphor.
But it makes really good sense, like, right? He just said,
he's not
we
wrong.
know he can go 25 miles per hour. Can he bring it up to 60? If we need him to go 60, can he go 60?
If I'm a betting man, I'd say no. Just based upon his past.
What do you think he would have to go against Tennessee? What's the speed limit against the Titans? 45?
I think he's...
35?
No, it's probably 45 because he's going to have to throw it.
Because if you're the Titans, don't you take away the short routes?
Oh,
don't you take, right? Because that's what he was living and dying by, other than obviously we talked about the touchdown pass, but like that's where he made his money.
Yeah.
12 of 14. I'd love to know, and I can look it up obviously during the break, but 12 of 14, how many of those 12 were under 10?
Yeah.
Under 10 yards.
And I don't really, because I had to listen to the game, I couldn't see what they were. I know they're a cover 3 team, Indianapolis, but if I'm playing the Packers this week, I'm going man, sometimes cover 0, making sure the box is secure, and make him throw the timed up with a little bit of pressure, 8 to 10 yard outs and slants and things like that. So I think that's what it's going to be.
800-990-3776. Are you now more optimistic about the defense, about Jeff Hafley's defense 2 weeks into the season? Let us know. Lots of stuff to still get to this morning, including Vomit Ball. We'll get to Vomit Ball after this.
Join me out at the Wisconsin Country Club. That's where I decided to join because I was looking for a great golf course that's challenging. I love the practice facility. I love how I can go out there, work on my game, get better. But maybe you're looking for a club that offers a little bit more than just golf. Wisconsin Country Club has you covered with no assessments ever. No food and beverage minimums, plus pool, tennis, pickleball. So many great things for you and the family to enjoy at the Wisconsin Country Club. Maybe you also want to give back to the community because Wisconsin Country Club is doing that with their Swing for Cindy event to help raise money for ALS. It's coming up on October 25th. You have until September 23rd to register. Just contact Don Tracy or Derek Gentry by going to thewisconsincountryclub.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, we still have the issue at National and Brewers Boulevard. That area is going to be kind of messed up right now. We did have a deadly accident through that area. That intersection, just don't even try it. Westbound 94 is backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, heavy from the zoo through the Stadium interchange. And then on southbound 43, you're seeing backups from just before Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny, warm, a high of the 83 at the lakefront, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Maldigon, 94.5 ESPN.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use Accutrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. Accutrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, Accutrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Hey Milwaukee sports fans, it's Brad Nortman from Kyle Bruston Nortman. You've invested too much into that nice ride, so don't settle for a gas station car wash. Treat it to a Tsunami Express car wash. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Now with 5 locations across Greater Milwaukee, Tsunami Express is your go-to spot for a flawless finish and a first-class car wash every time. Trust me, your car will thank you. Sign up for a membership online at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Catholic Memorial Football takes the field for Friday Night Lights this week. It's the Crusaders on the road battling New Berlin West in a conference matchup to take on the Vikings.
Marvanis Butler Brown gets the kickoff, and he's got room to run, and forget about it. The marvelous one.
Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and D&M Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30, exclusively streaming at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Less eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh,
time. You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
I needed a few more hints.
Yeah. You put you in that's Dave's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Richardson floating, too tall and picked off. Xavier McKinney, 2 games with the Packers and 2 interceptions.
Continuing to talk about the Packers' victory yesterday over the Colts, and we cannot overstate what a big win this was. Big win, great game plan, what a shock, and it was wonderful. And we are thrilled that the Green Bay Packers figured out a way to win with Malik Willis under center. But Malik Willis also took one for the team. Take a listen to Matt LaFleur talking about one of the plays where he had wished Malik Willis had handled it differently, and then got an explanation as to why he handled it the way he did.
Yeah, I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that 3rd down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Matter of fact, the official came over to me, Sean came over to me and said, we saw your center thrown up on the ball. Do you want us to take him out next time? I said, absolutely. Please do that because, you're talking about a critical situation, and it's 3rd down, and I've never had a throw with vomit on a football. So I don't know. I don't think Malik probably didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, Frank's done that before.
On the football?
Yeah. It's not a big deal. Happens.
Oh, my God. It would be a very big deal.
Football's disgusting.
Well, look, I understand football's disgusting.
No, it's really gross.
But I just think of, yesterday was a beautiful day, dry day. Even people might thought it had been a little too hot at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
But at no point did I think that the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers would not throw a football because he couldn't get a grip on it.
It's just...
Because somebody vomited on the football.
It's just water coming from a stomach.
But
it's not a big... It's not like there's
I'm
chunks.
going to be sick, please.
No. When you blow your nose out there, you do the Irish blow.
Sure.
And there's like the trapeze that hangs and swings and, I don't want it on my glove. So it'll be swinging.
What is that song, Gabe?
Wait.
Flies through the air with the greatest of ease.
Yes.
Wait, so you don't want a booger on your glove.
Yes.
But it's no big deal that Malik Willis had to try to throw a football with vomit on it?
No, it's not. It's happens. It's gross. It's disgusting. Actually, the booger plays to my favorite because now the defender looks at it and goes, dude, can you wipe that, please? Like, nope, I'll wipe it after the play. And we're running
Is
toss.
it distracting you? Wonderful. It's working.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, though, guys. Let's say he throws that football and it wobbles its way out of his hands and he throws up an interception. All of a sudden, you're going, well, there it is.
Yeah.
I got to say, this seemed to be the best of the options, Gabe.
Well,
because I'm just trying to imagine this interaction. Because I imagine LaFleur's pretty fired up. Hey, why didn't you throw that ball? Coach Josh puked all over it.
That's kind of
all right. That's a good. You know what? That's a good excuse.
Yep.
Good. Carry on.
It's kind of because he didn't have to shoot it onto the ball.
Well, he did it right before. Did you see the video?
I didn't.
It's literally right before he snaps it.
Right before. Milliseconds before he snaps the ball.
Puke throw. Puke snap. That's how
puke rally snap.
Yeah. That was how quickly it all happened. He turns his head, vomits.
What is that? Is that butterflies? Is that a nervous stomach?
That's just you drink too much water. No, you drink too much water and you're full, your belly's full.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you got to get it out. It's disgusting. Look, I played against a right tackle that crapped himself, and it rolled down to his shoe, and I have to combination block, and it just happened to be his right leg.
Did it get on the football, though?
No, but I didn't want it on me.
Well, I'm saying, who cares about that? Like Jen said, if he throws the ball and he can't get a grip on it.
But it's just all water. He probably drank too much water. But
that's the thing. Football, the ball is now wet. You can't get a grip on it. That's where this becomes an issue.
But I thought you were freaking out because of the grossness of the vomit.
Well, there's that too, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't want to dismiss that out of hand.
But on the scale of vomit, it's like a 3.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
don't vomit.
You just ate a big burrito and
you are being so disgusting this morning.
It's just, yes, on the scale. look.
Ribs. I had ribs for lunch.
How many times did your babies throw up all over you? Now, that to me is disgusting.
Sure, but depending on how old they are, like you're saying, the contents might not be all that bad. Could have been something that actually came from my body. So, in that instance, it's just kind of
return to sender
full
type
circle
situation.
moment. Exactly.
That's about a 7.
But that's also your child. There's a difference when, your child.
Still disgusting.
I mean,
I know.
I'm blown away by your power
child?
rankings. Your power rankings of vomit.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit it over with. Number 1 grossest vomit, Chew.
Is dog vomit. Dog vomit
You knew it
is
was
the
coming.
most disgusting, right? When you get the don't do it. That is right. That's the word.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
Oh, man.
Like football vomit,
Yeah.
that's honorable mention. It's not even in the top 10.
Not even in the top 10?
No.
Vomit on the football?
How many types of vomit are there?
There's a lot.
Okay, so you're saying 1 is dog.
Like any animal vomit is probably the grossest.
All right, so we'll just put dog/animal as number 1.
Uh-huh.
And then I think baby is just because it smells so sour. Human?
Way down.
Wait. Babies aren't human? Is that what you're implying?
I think it's different for males because it didn't come from our body. Right?
Maybe.
I mean, we had...
But you helped create the child. It's your child.
Gabe, I changed 3 diapers in my life,
I
okay?
understand. That's a different
All right.
function that we're dealing with.
Yes.
I can't believe that you think the baby vomit isn't as bad as the guy vomiting on the football.
Baby vomit is so innocuous, they actually call it spit up. Do you know what I mean? They don't even consider it vomit. They just call it spit up.
It's more the smell. Now, the kid playing the trombone in the middle of winter that has the flu and is trying to hold it back.
Flu vomit's horrible.
That's disgusting
Horrible.
vomit.
I've told you about that story of me and the tuba, right?
Where you blew it all into the instrument.
Yeah.
And they had to clean it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's disgusting. I'm telling you. Sports vomit is nothing. It's nothing.
I do think that flu vomit should be up there on the list, though. So
Flu
if we've
vomit
got,
is that number 2, flu vomit?
feels like it, and it's bad because you feel lousy, right?
Yeah.
So where's hangover vomit?
Yeah. That's all. So that was the next question.
Depends if you went by Jack in the Crack at 3 a.m. or, am I right? Gabe, if you're going to Taco Bell at 3 a.m. and then you're throwing up at 10, that's bad.
Yeah, again, you're not wrong in this situation.
I just
you
hammered
are
a
correct.
pitcher of beer and it's not hanging well, and that's nothing.
I actually think we need to have a distinguisher of night of hangover vomit or next day hangover vomit.
Next day's worse.
Way worse.
Next day's worse.
100%.
Because again, the next day there's no puke and rally the day after.
But
There's
the
puke
night
and rally
of,
the night of.
I feel like there's a level of I am conscious enough to know that if I don't get this out of my body, tomorrow is going to be bad.
Yes.
So I feel like it's next day hangover vomit.
So hangover's 3.
But it's got to be next day.
Yes.
And then distinguish it from night of hangover vomit.
Salmonella vomit?
Oh, wait. So food poisoning.
Yes.
Different than the flu.
That is different than the flu.
That's not as bad as flu. Flu's...
I don't know, man. The pains that come with food poisoning, the stomach pains.
Well, because the problem, is it higher than flu? Because I feel like when I have the flu and then you purge.
Yeah.
You almost feel better, right? There's just almost a sense of relief after you've... When you have food poisoning, you vomit, it ain't over.
Exactly. It's coming
It ain't
again
over, yeah.
and again and again. You take a little sip of water thinking maybe you're safe.
Yeah.
Nope, that's coming up too.
What about wrong pipe vomit?
I didn't even know that I didn't even know that was a thing.
That usually comes out the nose because you know when it shoots out the nostrils? That's kind of bad.
You're a really good reenactor.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty good. Pretty
I
good
hope
visual.
People were watching
People
on
watch
the YouTube stream. Wow, I thought you might actually blow chunks there. All right, well, I feel like we've got a pretty solid list there, right?
We're good.
And football vomit has still not come up, so maybe
Correct.
he's right. Maybe Chewy is right.
It didn't even make top 10.
Yeah, but the quarterback's not even wearing gloves. Like everybody else is wearing gloves.
It's water that was in there for maybe 5 minutes.
So it's warm.
Yeah.
It was still in there. I don't care how.
Of course,
I don't care how long it wasn't
Yeah.
percolating down there. It was still in there.
I just don't think it's a big deal.
And yet, baby vomit is.
I'm scarred, I guess.
You'd think you would be scarred from football.
One would think. I did get hit in the head a lot, though.
I'm not sure which of my fine sponsors to attach to this segment, but let's go with AccuTrans. They're a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and wedding-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is safe and easy and dependable. You can visit their website at AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote and book a reservation today. Guys, when I have to go to the airport, when I got to make a trip down to O'Hare, AccuTrans is the only group that I use, and it is almost dance season. If you have high schoolers who can't drive themselves yet and you don't want to be bopping them all over town that evening to the restaurant, to the dance, back from the dance to the after party, AccuTrans Group can help. AccuTransGroup.com is the website for reliable and safe transportation.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Wildy and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wildy and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so criminally. Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
It's the last home stand of the Brewers regular season. Be here when the Crew take on the Mets, September 27th through the 29th. Get to the jam-packed series for Fan Appreciation Weekend. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And as I tried writing this radio commercial on my phone, that darn autocorrect always seemed to give me fits. Which got me thinking, if you're looking for a stress-free, painless, wow, that was easy home mortgage process, give Great Midwest Bank a try. Find an experienced loan officer at greatmidwestbank.com to guide you to a state of banquility. Yeah, autocorrect would have never caught that one. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
How would you like to own a jewelry store? Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy? Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people. Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now? Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email. Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's. A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
He's got it. He's got room. Josh Jacobs gets 3. Biggest run in his short tenure for the Packers. Jacobs for 40 yards.
It is a Victory Monday. It's brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Scream It Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
We put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Who did you learn the most about in the Packers' victory over the Colts? Malik Willis, Matt LaFleur, Josh Jacobs, or the offensive line? Maybe you want to throw Jeff Hafley in there as well. Let's go out to the phone lines very quickly. Mike in Franklin, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning on a Victory Monday here on ESPN Milwaukee.
Good morning, folks. How are you doing today?
Great.
Doing good.
Good. Hey, I was just going to give Gabe the business because I think on last week he said Malik Willis was going to have a stink-off with Clifford, and I thought he played pretty well. I know he was in LaFleur's game plan, but 12 of 14, 122 yards, quarterback rated 126.8. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look, Malik Willis played better than, they asked him to do a little bit, and he executed what they gave him perfectly. Like, there's no denying that. I mean, do I think that everything else that was said about him last week, I don't know if it was exaggerated. Like Taylor Lewan, like that was his experience playing with Malik Willis. The scouting reports that we pulled up, those were people evaluating him. It's not like anybody else stepped up and said, oh yeah, this guy can handle all of this. Like all the information out there. And then Rob Demovsky, we can ask him about this, said he had a scout tell him he can't throw left. Which is why I've been trying to find like one of those passing charts. I'm really curious what that looked like yesterday.
It's a good call. We should definitely look that up. And again, remember there were only 14 passing attempts, so we theoretically should be able to go through.
But I don't want to take.
But
I still don't want to take away that what the Packers asked him to do was perfect.
Yes.
Matt LaFleur knew they were limited, and they ran an offense that was perfect for what they had available.
Yeah. Here's what it is, okay, guys? Let's say I'm having a dinner party. Let's say I'm having people over at my house, and we are going to tag team the cleaning of the house. Okay? I might give my husband some chores. I've got some chores. My son, who's 15, has some chores. And then I got the 6-year-old. Okay? And I'm not giving the 6-year-old the clean the glasses that are going to go on the dining room table. You know what I'm giving the 6-year-olds? Wipe the baseboards. Take this cloth and wipe the baseboards. The point is,
grab the Swiffer and just push this around for a little bit.
Exactly, something comparable to that. The point is, I'm not going to give them more than they can handle, and I'm also not going to give them the keys to crash the car. To use another driving metaphor from Chewy this morning, you give them what they can handle, they'll do a fantastic job. And oh, by the way, no one's really looking at the baseboards. But you know what I mean. So like in this instance, 12 of 14, like you didn't mess it up.
Yeah,
you didn't ruin things. The dinner party can get off and go off without a hitch.
But
next time I come over, now I'm going to look at the
next
baseboards.
game, he's got to load the dishwasher. And this is a team that knows him very well. They're going to know what he can't do. They're not going to allow the run. So he's going to have to throw for 25, 30 times this next week.
Ideally, I think he throws it between 20 and 25. I think if they keep it between 20 and 25 against Tennessee, they win again.
But again, short yardage, right? Do we see him airing it out?
Well, I mean, maybe every once in a while. I'm not saying like these deep, long processing, intermediate route, like big crossing routes. I think if he pushes it down the field like he did against with Romeo, like that was really the one time he threw the ball down the field, and that's just a 5-step drop or whatever, and then unload it downfield. You get a 1-on-1. maybe take a couple of those shots.
But now that you mention it, I am remembering, like, play-by-play, right side.
Right side. Everything was on the right side.
Right side.
Right?
Yeah.
Right side.
What's the line?
I don't know if it's out yet, but I'll take a look real quick.
And if you are the Titans and you're watching that film, if we pick up on that, and if that's something that Rob Demovsky said a scout has seen when they have watched film of Malik Willis, you don't think the Titans are going to be aware of that?
Of course, they're going to know everything about the guy. Everything. They're going to, like I said, they're going to know what he cannot do.
Tennessee by 2.5 is the early line.
So, okay. You know what? It's going to be another same type of game.
It has to be.
It's going to be a same type of game minus 261. You're not running for 261.
But what if they did?
You can go in and say, well, then you got morons out there. Well, there are morons out there coaching. I can tell you that. But it cannot. It can't be the same game plan. It just can't. Right?
Well, I think you're having
a good D coordinator is going. You right here, number 8. You're not winning the game.
Honestly, I thought that we would see more Jaden Reed yesterday. I mean, he ended up having, 2 carries, 2 catches. I thought he needed 10 to 12 touches. I thought we were going to see little bubble screens out there quickly. I thought we were going to see more jet sweeps. I thought he was going to get a bunch of touches because that's how you could kind of attack the perimeter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that evolves quickly as well as they work, as Malik Willis becomes more and more comfortable and he gets to work with the team for another week.
You know what's interesting? I'd love to be around Christian Watson today.
No targets?
No targets, 3 catches on the year for 16.
But okay. If we're going to give Matt LaFleur his flowers,
yes,
then we have to hope that he prepped Christian Watson for yesterday's game.
Pouting is a real thing amongst guys who catch the football.
But if they prepped him for it, right, and said, hey, I don't know that we're going to be going downfield a lot in this one. I don't know if we're going to be targeting you a lot in this one. We'll get you next week or whenever Jordan gets back under center. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we're going to say Matt LaFleur is a good coach and he was able to scheme him up, and I think that's part of being the head coach as well, is managing the expectations of your talent.
Just as long as guys pout.
Oh, 100%. You've talked about it all the time, and Tom Silverstein has an article in the Journal Sentinel today kind of talking about that. Hey, this was great for this week.
Yes.
But when you've got as many pass catchers as they have, and you only throw it 14 times, that starts to become okay, what's going on? And you brought it up a lot, that's something Holmgren was really good at.
Really good.
Where you had one target against the Vikings last week. You got the Bears coming up. Hey, Chew, I know I didn't get it to you. I got you this week.
Yeah.
Lots of reaction rolling in on the YouTube page as well. Unified Meme says, the Colts knew we were going to run the ball and couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The Colts knew we were going to run the ball and couldn't stop it. They weren't surprised by our run game. They were dominated by it. Why can't we do the same thing next week? 800-990-3776. Keep getting us your reaction. I was way, way wrong on my best bet for weekly wager. I said that the Colts would score 2.5 over 2.5. I will tell you that at halftime, I was very nervous about that prediction.
They had 0 points.
That's exactly right, yes. But if you love sports betting as much as I do, you got to make your way to the Sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It has everything a sports fanatic could want and more. It's a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi, so get in on the action.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Still dealing with an serious accident that happened at Brewers Boulevard and National Avenue. As a matter of fact, northbound Brewers Boulevard and east and westbound National Avenue closed through that intersection. Southbound is open. Only one lane is open, actually. So if you don't want to deal with the delays or anything, just maybe avoid that area. Westbound on 94 backed up from just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to the county line. Eastbound on 94 backing up from Elmhurst Road all the way through the Highway 16 area, and you're back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to about 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and warm. A high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get more of the NFL with NFL Plus Premium and start streaming more touchdowns, more hurdles, more action.
Breaks a tackle, he's gone!
NFL Plus Premium has your game day covered with NFL Red Zone, game replays, live local and primetime games on mobile, and more. The action doesn't stop there. Also, stream NFL Network 24/7, including 7 exclusive live games this season. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I don't think you guys can appreciate or even comprehend the task that Malik Willis, this guy got here 3 weeks ago.
Party run for 135 yards. Put it in the air this time. It is through there to Willis and a touchdown. Willis threads it through for his first NFL strike and a touchdown.
There was a lot put on his plate, and for him to be able to go out there and do what he did today, I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a person and the work that he's put in.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You just got to find a way to win, because at the end of the day, nobody cares.
He's got it. He's got room. Josh Jacobs gallops 3. Biggest run in his short tenure with the Packers. Jacobs.
I don't think of it. It's either win or lose, and y'all gonna write about that either way. You can say what you want to. All you can do is control the flow of the game. The flow of the game set. We're running the ball today.
Rookie knocks this one through. 5 out of 6 to begin his NFL career. 13-0.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And we're not here to throw those terms around. We're here to win games and do what we can to lean on each other. And that's all it is.
And it's just, this game is about winning, and you got to do it. However, you got to find a way, and our guys found a way today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Now live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Celebrating a Victory Monday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I don't think we can state it enough. I don't think we can overstate how impressive yesterday's victory was. We have said for years and years and years, increasingly so, guys, how important the quarterback position is. We knew the Green Bay Packers were going into this game without their starting quarterback, without one of the highest paid players in the league in Jordan Love, and we knew that the book on Malik Willis was not great. Again, every person who weighed in on what do we need to know about Malik Willis, what do we need to know, talked about what a great kid he is. Nice guy, good guy, well-mannered, polite.
There's a great story that Diana had in her story about when she was working with ESPN, went to Tennessee for a story, and he shook the hand of everyone in the crew, introduced himself, which is rare. Just a very genuinely nice person.
So we're rooting for him, right? If for no other reason than he is the now starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers until Jordan Love gets back. But there was pessimism about his ability to get the job done. And he got the job done. Now, again, we can use my children cleaning the baseboards as we're preparing for the giant party analogy if we want. You can use Chewy's analogy of he can drive 25. He's going to have to, crank it up a little on the highway. Can't drive 25 on the highway. Gabe, do you feel badly about how pessimistic you were about the Green Bay Packers' chances headed into yesterday's game?
All right. I have prepared an official statement because there have been plenty of people who have, come after me at Twitter. We had the caller who wanted to give me, as he said, give me the business because of how pessimistic I was, whether that was on this show, whether that was on Green Bay game day yesterday. So I have prepared an official statement. Max, if you will, please.
I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong, you were right. You're the best, I'm the worst. You're very good looking, I'm not attractive.
All right. As long as you're willing to admit that.
We'll be taking no further questions at this time.
That's it? That's your statement?
That's my statement. I let my statement stand on its own.
Happy Gilmore just did your statement for you. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, that really is the perfect apology. Like 10 out of 10, no notes. Why would we try to reinvent the wheel, right? It's the greatest apology in the history of apologies, and therefore, Gabe, I am fine with you using it as your apology.
That was addressed to anybody, again, who wanted to tweet at me, the caller who called, anybody else who wants to call in. That is, I just direct you to that statement.
Why? What did you think they were going to lose by?
14. I had 24-10.
Okay. All right.
Was the final.
I don't think you were alone.
No, I wasn't. Oh, I saw, plenty of people on the pregame shows. Yeah. Everybody seemed to be picking the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what I want to say. We are thrilled that the Packers got the victory. We are thrilled that Malik Willis was able to go 12 of 14 for 120-plus yards, etc. Does that mean he's good at football? Does that mean he's a good quarterback? Like, again, I don't want to take anything away from the kid, right? This is not, sit here and rake him over the coals. But for the people out there who were, like, dancing on the criticism of struggles with football yesterday after the game, I'm not sure you saw enough in the game to say, he's got it. He can do it.
I don't know if he's got it, but I will bring back, Jason has been harping on this all week about how a lot of times, and I think Chewy, you're an example, he likes to use the example of Tausch because they do the show together, about how a lot of times in the NFL, football players can be the product of their environment and the product of circumstance. And the initial plan for the Titans was clearly to develop him. And he's never had that opportunity, even with the Packers, who went, okay, we're going to take you and we're going to develop you. Didn't have the opportunity to sit and develop because he was thrown into the fire 19 days after the Packers acquired him. But he did land in a spot with the Packers, with Matt LaFleur, who was able to go, all right, we're not going to ask you to do anything you can't handle. And that's what Tennessee tried to do with him. He only attempted 10 passes in the one game the Titans won that he started when he was a rookie. We're not going to throw anything at you right now that you can't handle. We're going to try to support you the best that we can. And Malik Willis looked the best that he did, I think, because of Matt LaFleur, the coaching staff, and what they understood, what they can and cannot ask of this guy right now. And to develop a little more confidence, that's only going to help him going forward.
Like, I understand why they made the move, the trade for the 7th-round pick. I mean, he's not there yet. And he's not going to be a starter in this league, I don't think. But he can be a functional backup. And I think that's why they went out and got him. They got their backup for the next X amount of years behind Jordan Love, which is fine. But like I said, he can go 25. He's going to have to go 45 this week. He's going to have to. And this will be a bigger test.
But here's the thing, Chew, though. We always talk about, all right, do you have a backup quarterback who can go 500? If Jordan just misses 2 games and he's back by Minnesota, and would it be disappointing if they, because I thought if they went 500, it would be lose to Indy, beat Tennessee because of how Tennessee has looked. But if they end up just inversing that and they go 1-1 and they're 1-2 going into Minnesota and Jordan's back, I think we feel all right, don't we?
Yeah, but I also think that if you gave Sean Clifford the same assignment, it would have been the same.
Let me ask you this, Chew.
It would have been the same.
What does 45 look like? Like, give me it in football terms. We saw what 25 miles per hour in football terms looks like. 12 of 14. Mm-hmm. What was the official number? 126, 124? What was the...
122. 12, 14,
what would it have been if you took away the long play? 90?
So that was, the long play was 39 yards.
All right.
So what does 45 look like then?
45 is you're going to have to throw intermediate routes. You're going to have to throw a dig to the outside. You're going to have to throw, a 10-yard out rollover. It's got to be good because I know how I would defend them.
How?
I would play predominantly man. I would make sure the box is secure. To me, from what I did watch, Indianapolis seemed pretty uninspired. Didn't you think so?
Yeah.
Offensively and defense, there was no...
Except for Jonathan Taylor.
There was no sense of urgency.
They had a lot of drops, too.
Yeah. He's going to have to throw intermediate routes. He's going to have to deal with, which he did in this game, 3rd and 8s. Their conversion rate, that's one of the first things we look at. When we come in on 10 of 17, which is solid. You always want to be... We always shot for 40. 40 is like, all right, you got to have 40. You feel pretty good that you're going to win. He's going to have to make some throws. Going to have to make some throws. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked this week if they rush for more than 150 yards. I'll be shocked.
Because your expectation is the Titans will take that element away. They'll limit it at least.
Idiots, unless you're dopes. So he's going to have to throw for 180. It's not a lot more, but he's going to have to throw more than checkdowns. They're going to have to be more than in the flat to the tight end for 4, hopefully get 8. You know? That's how I see it.
And he still has to take care of the football.
Because I can tell you this, the Jets are a better offense than Indy. They're a better offense, maybe not rushing, but they're a better offense. And they had a tough time. They had a tough time yesterday. So, yeah, this is going to be a bigger test. I look at it more as the kind of a letdown.
How much of a difference is being able to execute this game plan at home in Lambeau Field versus executing this game plan on the road at Tennessee?
Huge. Because the crowd is going to have more juice. Because a guy that didn't pan out as a third-round pick, was supposed to be a higher pick, is now playing for a good team. So it's going to be different. It's not going to be as comfortable. In my guess, Nashville could be, and it was, for yesterday's game, very hot. So it's going to be hot down there.
It was hot yesterday at Lambeau.
Yeah.
85 degrees yesterday in Green Bay.
But another crappy team. Right? I'd probably put them where the Colts are. Colts might be all around a little bit better, but you're playing at home. The letdown is more it's hot. We're on the road, not as comfortable. They're yelling at my quarterback. We'll just see how they respond.
Well, and sometimes we talk about how guys use slights as motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sitting here saying that Malik Willis is over here scouring Twitter or looking for what people are saying about him headed into the games, but you can only insulate yourself so much. So let's say he heard that people were saying, he can't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Guy doesn't have it. You use that as motivation to be like, all right, let's see. I'll go out there. Does he have it to the same level next week after proving some people wrong with his 12 of 14, 122 day?
But they have the slight as well, Tennessee. Dude, we drafted you high and you sucked. We ain't letting you play well against us here. We just traded you because we thought you were garbage. So, here we go.
Well, and I have a stat here for you. Titans beat themselves in Chicago on 3 key plays, a blocked punt, an interception, and a lost fumble. Then they went out and did it again yesterday. Yeah. Per ESPN stats and information, the Titans became the first team to allow a blocked punt, throw an interception, and lose a fumble since the Chargers did it. They did it twice in a row.
Yeah, back-to-back games.
Back-to-back weeks.
From a score standpoint?
Yikes.
From a score standpoint, it's going to be the exact same. Hopefully I can nail it this time.
I thought you nailed it.
It doesn't matter if you nail it. You're going to say you're right.
I was going to say, you acted like you nailed it this morning.
The game? 17-14, 16-10 is not a big difference.
What about the overtime element?
You had the exact idea of how the game was going to go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, but the problem is...
Why do you guys fight it so hard?
Because you start to feel yourself a little too much. You're like, oh, but in overtime.
But then you go to Max, and he's so intimidated by you. He's going to say whatever the hell you tell him to say. You could tell him the sky is turquoise. He'd be like, sure
Max,
is.
Don't listen to him. Do not let them poison you. I am the nicest guy in this room. The hardest worker. The show prep that I put in all of yesterday and this morning for this show is incredible, off the charts. Matt LaFleur's got nothing on me.
Max is like, you're right, 100%. He's about to hit the Chewy was right drop, actually. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. It's nestled on the second floor of St. Kate. It is an artful dining experience that captivates with culinary creativity. Every bite is a work of art. Learn more and make reservations at Aria at stkate.com. That's Aria at stkate.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Still dealing with an accident, serious accident that happened at Brewers Boulevard and National Avenue. As a matter of fact, northbound Brewers Boulevard and east and westbound National Avenue closed through that intersection. Southbound is open. Only one lane is open, actually. So if you don't want to deal with the delays or anything, just maybe avoid that area. Westbound on 94 backed up from just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to the county line. Eastbound on 94 backing up from Elmhurst Road all the way through the Highway 16 area, and you're back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to about 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And for most all of us, here's the reality. Life happens. But when those moments occur, two words come to mind. Common sense. For nearly 90 years, Great Midwest Bank has made the home buying, building, renovation, and refinancing process straightforward, while too many others overthink and overdo. Our portfolio loans are GMB's not-so-best-kept secret. Apply online at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, and I got to tell you about my experience at QC Kinetics. It is one of those things that you had to see to believe. Went in there, got my free consultation, had a little bit of back tightness, and they went through a robust diagnosis to figure out what was going on with me, and I could see exactly what QC Kinetics can offer me, what they can offer you. I mean, we're talking about regeneration of tissue, plasma, and platelets, and stem cells, and all these things put right back into your joints, into the areas that are giving you pain, to give you back your life again. It's really no wonder that they've had tens of thousands of patients that walk away completely satisfied. They're going to enhance your joints, improve your mobility, and get you back to doing what you want to do. So it doesn't matter where it is, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back. QC Kinetics is there to help you get your life back. Don't wait any longer. They're the future of medicine. I was able to experience it for myself. I want you to experience too. Call now for your absolutely free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Catholic Memorial Football takes the field for Friday Night Lights this week. It's the Crusaders on the road battling New Berlin West in a conference matchup to take on the Vikings.
Marvanis Butler-Brown gets the kickoff,
Look out.
and he's got room to run, and forget about it. The marvelous one.
Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and D&M Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30, exclusively streaming at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like,
me
you
here?
don't want to just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Willis' first downfield shot for Romeo Dobbs. Went over the top and hauled it in. 40 yards.
Huge win by the GBP on Sunday over the Colts. And I will admit, I was way wrong on my best bet for Weekly Wager because I took the over on the Colts scoring 2.5 times. I thought they'd find the end zone 3 times. I thought with Anthony Richardson having, the big arm that we saw from him in week 1. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor and the run defense for the Green Bay Packers. I thought the game plan would be run, take some shots downfield, and thought they would find the end zone. I am thrilled to have been wrong, right? This is one of those where you hedge your bet, you hedge your hope with a bet. If the Packers lose, well, at least I won some money. But I didn't win any money, but the Packers won. So I'm good on that.
Wait, so how did your week go? Because last week you were week 1 of the NFL season.
4-2, week 1.
4-2.
Yeah, that was good. So I lost that bet. No, I didn't even. No, I lost that bet. I made that bet. I lost that one. And then I lost I thought that the Browns were just a dumpster fire. So I went heavy Jacksonville.
I mean, they still might be. Jacksonville might be a bigger one.
But they won. So I lost on that one. And then I lost on Georgia, Kentucky. I took the over. I should have listened to Ben Brust on that one. He says he always takes the unders on that.
I mean, you don't need to listen to Ben.
Okay.
I mean, I did just in general. I don't know if that's
anyone see the Georgia, Kentucky game going the way that it went?
No.
So I felt okay. I was like, well, at least I don't feel like a total idiot. No one saw Georgia and Kentucky. What was the final score of that one?
Like 13-9?
Yeah, insane. It was
like, why didn't you hit the under in Green Bay, Indy? That seemed like a layup. 41? Like, what's it? Is the bet out this week already? If it's anywhere around 41 again for this week, jump on the under.
Yeah.
The total right now for Packers Titans is 37.5.
I'd still maybe hit the under.
Dude, maybe. Now we're not jumping on the under. Now we're just
those extra 4 points.
I mean, I'd hit it if you win. I'm going to deny it.
Right, exactly. But I do want to tell you this. I did win some bets as well.
Okay.
I took South Carolina. The spread was 7.
Yep.
They ended up losing, but just by 3 to LSU.
Yeah.
That was the game that we were at this weekend. And I also told you guys Boston College.
Yeah,
15
I chickened
and
out.
a half.
Yeah, I chickened out. Because the Spaniard went to Mizzou.
So you didn't want to make a bet with...
Well, I make the bet, but I said I want Mizzou. I have no
You could have
loyalty
taken
to Boston
Mizzou straight up. I have no idea what the odds were on that.
Did you hit Alabama, Wisconsin?
Couldn't bet on that.
Oh,
You
that's
can't
right.
bet
Can't
on
bet.
the local teams at Potawatomi.
Wisconsin is a Tier 2 Big Ten school. They're a Tier 2.
We sure?
Why, you think they might be a 3? You're putting them with Purdue, Indiana...
Northwestern.
So if
Northwestern, yeah.
If Ohio State is like up there, right? Ohio State, because they're one of the best teams in the country.
And then I would say Penn State's probably next.
Penn State's really good. Penn State's good. Oregon's good.
USC.
Is Oregon good? They have really been clunky.
I think they righted the ship this last week. They scored 49 points, like one in a blowout. Like Dylan Gabriel looked really good. So, but I mean, I think there are 4 teams in the upper tier there.
Yeah.
And then Michigan's not going to be in the college
second
tier.
tier.
They're like second tier.
Which is understandable because it's a new head coach.
New head coach, lost your quarterback, lost a lot of players to the NFL, et cetera, et cetera. They're not on Michigan's level.
If Michigan and Wisconsin played right now, what would the score be? Oh, I thought you were going to say 100.
13-9. 13-9.
Really? You think it's that close?
I think both offenses stink.
Well, the problem is Wisconsin doesn't have an identity. They don't know what they want to do. And Fickell said as much after the game. They don't have an identity. And that's what I saw.
They don't have a quarterback.
Well, from everything I saw on social media from alumni, it seems that's the most frustrating part from players who used to be in that program, is we don't know what we are.
It's because this air raid is such a stupid offense. I'll just tell you this. You guys might know this. If you don't have the receivers, you can't run an air raid offense. I'm sorry. You have to run the ball. In college football, you have to run the ball. And it blows my mind. You have every big, huge O-lineman here. You got almost your pick. Run a pro-style offense with these massive offensive linemen that they're getting around the state. I can tell you this. There's not a lot of 5-star receivers in the state of Wisconsin.
But all these massive offensive linemen are leaving the state.
I know they are.
I mean,
You know why?
I think of because we have the games for Catholic Memorial every Friday night here on 94.5 ESPN. They had a kid last year, one of the best offensive linemen in the state, went to Penn State.
I know.
One of the top recruits as a left tackle going to Notre Dame this year. After he graduates he's a senior this year. He's going to go to Notre Dame next year.
I know. Is that NIL or is that?
I don't know. Maybe
just
it is.
Seems like it's reverting back. You know what? I'm blown away. They still haven't made the college football playoffs since they've been in existence.
Yeah, I mean, they got close to 1 year. They were 12-0 going to the Big Ten championship game, played Ohio State tight, lost. Certainly would have been if it was a 12 team that year. But yeah, I don't know the next time they sniff it, Shu.
What do you think, Fickle? What do you think they go this year? How many wins? With a backup quarterback?
6 or 7.
Does that put him on the hot seat?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think they believe it's going to take some time. Isn't next year his recruiting class?
Sure, but how much does that
the
matter?
Recruiting class with
NIL
transfer
and
portal.
5 years ago, Jen, sure. Now?
Doesn't matter. There's some college programs, Jen, don't even recruit high school kids.
They're just using the transfer portal. Yeah.
Let somebody else.
Just so you guys know, as riveting as this has been, Andrew in the 262 would rather us talk about vomit again. Okay? Says that's a better conversation than talking about the Badgers. We got to take a break.
What was your final record? What was your record betting this week?
Let me total it up. I'll tell you when we come back. We got Rob Demovsky waiting patiently on the line. We certainly want to get to him. I will tell you when we come back what my final record was. Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Victory Monday brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have a crash still being worked on at the intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. That intersection is completely closed off, so be careful.
Yeah, no
Northbound 41, an accident just north of North Avenue. Left lane is blocked. We got delays all the way back to Watertown Plank Road. Also southbound on 43, backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 4394 is going to be slow out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Today, mostly sunny, warm, a high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value in life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
$1 million. That's big, really big. This September, Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is handing out a cool million, and you've got a shot at winning your share. The big $1 million giveaway is here. Just play with your rewards card and you're entered to win. Couldn't be easier and couldn't be bigger. No wonder it's called the Big One. For more details, visit paysbig.com/big one. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
Time is running out on the Brewers regular season. Hurry up and catch the Crew battle the Diamondbacks September 20th through the 22nd for College Night and a Brewers Puffy Vest giveaway on the 21st. Get your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For this year, though.
All right, we'll work on it.
Consider it done, Rob.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
Look, I would suspect that we don't see Malik Willis throw the ball down the field a whole lot, especially early, but it would not surprise me if we got back to more of the quick West Coast stuff.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
I was overly harsh about Gabe's golf game because I played terrible yesterday.
It's Rob Demovsky.
This better be a great segment.
On Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Time to touch base with Rob Demovsky about the Green Bay Packers. Good morning, Rob. How are you doing today on this Victory Monday?
I am great, Jen. I have no vomit on me. I feel really good.
It's crazy that is the baseline all of a sudden. Like, do you have vomit on you? No, I do not. So what was your biggest takeaway? We were asking folks this morning who they learned the most about in that game. Was it Malik Willis? Was it Matt LaFleur? Was it the offensive line? Was it Josh Jacobs? Maybe it's someone else for you. Who did you learn the most about in the Packers' win over the Colts?
I think I saw the poll, and I think it's Matt LaFleur, because this is something that he has never successfully done before here. Now, he only had to do it once, but that was win without his regular starting quarterback. And obviously in Kansas City a couple of years ago with Jordan filling in, it did not go well at all. I thought they managed the game incredibly well. I know the crowd was booing at the end of the first half, but he did the right thing there, in my opinion, of what were they were leading the game. Don't make a mistake at the end when momentum could flip. The Titans were going to get the ball back, right? Or sorry, the Colts were going to get the ball back. I'm already thinking about next week. Colts were going to get the ball back to start the second half. If you screw it up there in the final minute and somehow they score off a turnover and they double up, all of a sudden it's a different game. So I really thought he coached sort of a brilliant game. Like, it was almost the equivalent. I hate to do this, but you guys know how much I like basketball. I compare everything to basketball. It was almost like a Dick Bennett, Pete Carrill, Princeton type of game plan, where you just slowed it down and stuck to one thing and did it well, which is great because it was one of the fastest games I think I've ever been around with all the running. I think I looked up at the end of the third quarter, it was 2:00.
Yeah.
Rob, 1 sack and 7.8 yards per carry. Is there concern about the front seven?
I don't know if it's concern, Chewy. I do think it's a work in progress. We talked all along about how this defense is sort of built from the back up, with Jeff Hafley being looking at it through a DB's perspective, and I think the back end has played pretty well. I think that we've maybe, and I'm probably guilty of it too, but oversimplified. Bless you, Jen. We oversimplified. That's great.
Just don't barf.
Your mic.
I was trying to be quiet, draw no attention to it, and he says, "God bless you."
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you have video, though.
Yeah,
you can see on the video.
You guys wanted video. I think we oversimplified, Chewy, getting back to the defensive front, about all these defensive linemen. You're just going to flip the switch and you're just going to go, right? I think that was probably a mistake on our part, because I think that's a pretty big adjustment for those guys. First of all, the edge rushers are now playing with their hand on the ground, which is totally different. And then the guys in the middle, like Kenny Clark, are still getting used to trying to play downhill more than, say, side to side.
What did you learn about Malik Willis?
The one thing I was surprised at, Gabe, is that he took care of the football. He didn't turn the ball over, right? You could have easily seen, and we have seen quarterbacks panic when they get flushed a little bit and throw it right to the other team. And we saw Caleb Williams, if you watched any of the Bears game last night, I mean, you saw Caleb Williams do it a couple of times. And then just ball security with the fumble, with not losing his grip on the football running, not being careless with the ball. I thought he played a very safe game and a smart game, which I quite honestly wasn't sure that he or any quarterback put in that situation could pull off.
Rob Demovsky hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, as he will each and every Monday during the football season. There has been a lot of talk of Matt LaFleur. You mentioned it as well as we did at the beginning of the show. We have actually talked about Adam Stenavich a little bit because Matt LaFleur said that he did a really good job. Where does Tom Clements fall in here as far as helping Malik Willis put his best foot forward in that game?
Yeah, I don't know, Jen, if it's so much that game, because Tom, I think Tom's best attribute is coaching quarterbacks over the long haul development. And Tom's one of the best around. I don't know if anyone, including Tom Clements, who might be one of the best quarterbacks coaches I've ever seen, can have an effect that quickly on a guy's fundamentals. Now, could Tom have helped him with some read stuff and seeing what the Colts defense was doing? Absolutely. But I think Tom Clements' best attribute is his long-term work. And, I was told last week leading up to the game that, obviously the Packers never thought that Willis would play so quickly, but that they really wanted a whole year with him to develop him and see where they could get him and where Tom Clements could help him progress. They wanted this to be a redshirt year for him.
Rob, how concerned are you about the Tennessee game? Because I can tell you they're not rushing for 261. And Malik is going to have to do more against a team that knows him very well.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. But I think on the flip side, and I haven't seen anything to say whether they're making a change at quarterback. But from what I've seen from Will Levis, man, this defense, the Packers defense, which already has 6 takeaways, should probably get 4 or 5 more off Will Levis because, I don't know. The things I've seen that guy try to do, it's just I don't know how you can play that way. So I do think the defense, sort of getting back to your point about the front seven, Chewy, I think next week if Malik Willis does have to play again, and I'm not convinced that he's going to, from what I was told, Jordan Love was very close to playing and that was not a charade. But if Malik Willis has to play again, and you're right. I can't imagine that they would be able to put up that kind of rushing numbers a second week in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I think defense is going to have to carry the way next week if they're going to win in Tennessee with Malik Willis. That being said, this is another game where if you have to be without Jordan Love, you'd rather it be this game than, a game against a surefire, playoff contender.
Does Brian Gutekunst deserve a little bit of credit for this? Because I have a hard time imagining that Aaron Jones would have gotten 32 carries had it been Aaron Jones instead of Josh Jacobs in the backfield.
It's funny, Gabe, because as the carries were piling up, I looked up, I knew Aaron Jones had carried 30 times as he was approaching 30. But the amazing thing is, Aaron Jones' high carries was 25 times, and he did it one time. 25 one time. They went out and got a guy who is built for, I don't want to say he's built for, whatever 30 times 17 is over the course of a season, 500 carries or whatever that would be. I'm terrible at math, as we've discussed many times, but I don't think that,
and yet it still keeps coming up.
It does. And I got this, this thing I got here. I happen to have it right here. This is my diploma from Ohio University. I have no idea why it's sitting on my desk, but it is. No math was required for this degree. Not a single math class was taken to acquire this piece of paper.
Good for you.
The only reason I have that there is my parents cleaned out a bunch of stuff and gave it to me the other day.
Oh, that's the best when your parents are like, hey, we've had this in the house. You need to take it.
Where were we going before I decided?
Josh Jacobs versus Aaron Jones.
American Conference School.
Josh Jacobs versus Aaron Jones.
Yeah. No, I think Gutekunst went out and made a bold decision there. And part of that decision was made by him because Aaron Jones wasn't going to take the pay cut. But, if Josh Jacobs can indeed stay healthy over the course of the season, and the amazing thing was, I talked to him in his locker yesterday, and he wasn't sweating at all. This was pretty close shortly after the game. He said, I could probably go another quarter. So this guy's built differently. And I think you make a great point there, Gabe, is that just having Josh Jacobs allowed them to win that game. If they don't have him, I don't know that they win it.
Random but related, which sort of is my MO. I was sitting with Nick Saban in the makeup area getting ready for College Game Day Saturday morning, and we were talking about Malachi Moore, a kid on the Alabama team who I know Badgers fans are now very familiar with after Saturday's game. And he said Malachi Moore was the last kid that he recruited of that class. And he said, you know who else was the last kid I recruited of their respective class? Josh Jacobs.
Really?
And he said, I could have never guessed that he was going to have the success he had and then also have the success he has had in the NFL based on the other kids who were in his recruiting class. So go ahead and just remember that. Keep that in mind, Packers fans.
Yeah, you just never know, Jen.
Last thing I want for you to talk to you about, Rob, is the penalties. At the beginning of the game, it was laundry all over Lambeau Field. Do you chalk that up to no preseason? Guys are still getting used to kind of the rigors of the regular season, or is this something we should keep our eye on with Green Bay for the season?
I'll just say this anecdotally, and I don't have the statistical evidence to support this, but I feel like every time I'm watching games and the Packers aren't playing, there's penalties all over the place. Again, like someone would have to check, and I'm sure there's a way to. There's some great penalty stats websites out there, but it just feels to me like this is football a couple of weeks into the 2024 season, and you would assume, as it does most years, the officiating tends to change as the season goes on. It's whatever the point of emphasis is, or the rule changes going into that season are over officiated or overemphasized early in the year, and I think a month or so in, you get back to regular football. Let's put that one. Let's put a bookmark on that question, Jen, and see where the Packers are in a couple of weeks.
I think it was 6 penalties yesterday. I closed the box score, but 6 penalties for 50 yards. The only reason I keep it in mind is last year, as you well know, Rob, the Packers were leading the league in penalties headed into like the final 6 weeks of the season. I don't have the full numbers here in front of me, but I just remember that being a storyline of like, hey, you're shooting yourself in the foot, if you will, on a lot of these things. And there were some significant plays that were wiped from the board because of penalties yesterday.
Including a Josh Jacobs touchdown, right?
Jones.
I know.
He's a hybrid. He's a hybrid of the two.
Josh Jacobs would have had an 18-yard touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. You're right. It was 6 penalties for 50 yards. The Colts had only 3 penalties for 20 yards.
All right. Well, there you have it. We appreciate you hanging out with us, Rob. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, I have a feeling I think I'm going to be changing planes in the airport in either Minneapolis or Detroit or wherever I'm flying through this time tomorrow or this time next Monday. So hopefully the plane is on time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're rooting for you, bud.
Rob Demovsky.
I am scheduled to land at 8:15 Central Time in whatever city that I'm landing in. So hopefully
Rob has travel plans like I have travel plans. Then I got to go to Oklahoma, and then I got to go to Oklahoma again. Rob Demovsky, you can, of course, follow him on X at Rob Demovsky. Thanks, Rob. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, we'll be seeing you.
Read him on ESPN.com as well. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wrap things up right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Financial literacy can make a huge impact on the success of our future leaders by engaging in hands-on courses, teaching essential skills like budgeting, savings, and investing. Junior Achievement at Wisconsin is helping prepare students for a future of financial success and independence. Bring these vital lessons to your school or community. Visit wisconsin.ja.org to learn more. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when intended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Gabe asked what my record was for my betting at Potawatomi Sportsbook this weekend. 2-3. 4-2 week
All right,
one.
you know what? That's
2
fine.
and 3 week
6-5 overall. You're above 500.
I know, but I got to nail it this week, Gabe. That's what that means. I got to stay above 500.
Yeah. So you're staying positive.
I'll start digging. Again, what I'm thrilled about is that I won on the 2 college games I picked. Well, I picked 3 college games. Okay. I picked the over Georgia, Kentucky. I was way off on that one. I did not see Georgia. By the way, Georgia falling out of the top spot in the AP.
Texas looks good.
After Texas lost their starting quarterback.
Yeah. But you saw Arch Manning.
I did.
He looked very good.
Turns out he's a Manning and he can run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are they going to now? Is that a controversy? Or are they going to go back to?
My guess is it's how long Quinn Ewers is out for.
Yeah.
Like if he misses 4 games and they win all of them, they probably keep riding with Arch. But if Ewers is ready for the Oklahoma game in 2 weeks, then they go back to Quinn.
Was something crazy like he threw 2 passes for 2 touchdowns or something insane like that?
Well,
Like
he threw 1 pass for a touchdown, and then he had the 67-yard touchdown run, like back-to-back plays. Pretty outrageous.
So it was like, oh, I guess he really is good, huh? What did we put on the poll today? Let me check on the ESPN Milwaukee Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Looks like lots of reaction rolling in for whatever it's worth. The poll was, who did you learn the most about in the Packers' victory over the Colts? Matt LaFleur running away with this sucker, 50% of the vote, followed by Josh Jacobs with 21, the offensive line with 20, and Malik Willis with 9. And I do think, guys, that there is something to be said for that. 9% going to Malik Willis because you didn't learn a lot more about Malik Willis than you knew going in. It's not like he blew you away with a bunch of downfield completions. It's not like he ran a ton. You know, like he is what we thought he was, but he did not lose the game. We want to make sure we give him credit for that.
So we looked at that ranking. I don't know. It was in the text chain of they ranked the 32 quarterbacks starting.
Oh, sure.
This past week.
And he was number 32.
You think he moves up?
Oh, yeah. He'll move up.
Over Levis?
He'll probably be above Levis.
What about Trevor Lawrence?
No, Trevor's not going to drop down that far.
All right, because now you got Miami's going to be starting a new, whoever their backup is. I'll be interested to see where he's at.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
They said they're going with him. They're not going to go out and try to get somebody, they said. They said they're going to ride with him.
Okay.
Why, do you think Tannehill's going to get a job at some point here?
No. No one's going to pay him except Gabe.
Gabe won't even pay him a compliment. I don't know what
Gabe won't even say his name.
Voldemort?
Will Dean Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody. Enjoy the victory today.
Well, we got a couple of issues going on right now. First of all, the intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. That intersection is closed off for a deadly accident that happened earlier this morning. They are still working on that, so please be careful and try and avoid the area. Westbound 94 is also backing up right through the stadium interchange. Also, an earlier accident that happened between North Avenue and Burleigh had the left lane blocked. Looks like they were able to get that one off the freeway. Delays are still there coming out of the zoo interchange all the way up to that point. Eastbound 94, watch for backups from about 76th Street all the way through the stadium interchange to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, warm, a high of 83 at the lakefront, 88 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.